the next thing I'm going to teach you is the step out technique. And once again, if done correctly, it does help you regulate your breath, calm your breathing, and bring you more into a centered feeling so that you can release and put aside anything that may carry over into you personally. So it's sort of like an action to help us physically release ourselves from the previous moment. Okay? All right, so starting off the same way that we did with the completo, let's make sure our feet are once again properly spaced so that we feel balanced. Oh, that's better this time. I don't know if the other one was actually good. Okay, so your feet are under you, your knees are bent, okay? And again, sort of like with the completo, we're going to take a look out into the horizon, okay? Now, as you're standing here looking out into the horizon, I want you to take a little bit of a mental check of what's happening to you with your posture. If you feel like you are slumped in any way, I want you to start to think long in the spine, as though I had, you know, those dolls that sometimes have those strings up in their hand that you could pull. Okay, so imagine me sort of pulling this string at the top of your head, and it's making your spine lengthen and stretch and grow without getting tight. To do this, don't tighten the pelvis or the knees, okay? The arms are just resting by your side, okay? And take a far away look onto that horizon point. And now I want you to take your hand, and I want you to take your pinky and your thumb, the width of your pinky from your thumb. And I want you to take your thumb and place it on your belly button, or right below your belly button. And bring your pinky down. So your pinky is actually like right above your, like what we call your pubic bone area. Okay, so this area here is where our diaphragm is located. And what I'd like you to do now is like, keep your hand pressed on that, so you don't have to necessarily keep the spread there, but keep your hand pressed on that. And on the next inhalation that we're going to do, I want you to consciously inhale into this area so that you actually feel a little bit of a movement happening with your hand, a little bit of a rise. For those of you that have had voice and diction, for example, you may have remembered when we did a lot of the breath workout for that, okay? So let's take a nice inhalation and then exhalation. Okay, so you should have felt a little bit of a movement there, okay? All right, now let's do this again, and this time I want you to inhale through the nose, and then I want you to exhale through the mouth, all right? Now, let's add something else. Can you consciously count the inhalation that you do and the exhalation that you do, and can you make them even? So in other words, if it takes you a 4 count or a 6 count or an 8 count to fully feel like you've taken in enough air, will you then allow it to be the same number as you exhale? Okay? So let's give that a shot. Let's do that a little bit. So you're looking at your horizon. Notice if you're looking down. It's very important not to look down. Bring your focus up and in front of you at your horizon point. Okay? So go ahead and start inhaling and be conscientious for now how many breaths it's taking you to feel full. And then exhale through the mouth and consciously let that be the same amount of time that it takes you to exhale. And do that a couple of times. Notice if your knees are locked, if your pelvis is locked. Try not to make those lock. Notice if you're collapsing in the chest, or if you're rounding out in your spine. Keep everything up and open. Let that go just for a moment so that you can hear what I need to tell you next. All right. For most people, it's either going to be 4, 6, or 8, usually with the breath. If you go past 8, then you almost feel like you're tensing, choking, right? So you don't want to ever get to that point. And so it's just that Nice sense of the full inhalation and then the exhalation. I want you to make the breath feel circular. Okay? So in other words, don't inhale and then, you understand? Try to eliminate that pause in between. Does that make sense to you? There is a natural suspension that happens when we breathe. Okay? But for this exercise, I want you to consciously go from that to that. Okay? So don't linger too long in that sort of sustained thing. Does that make sense? So don't hold your breath. That's what I'm trying to say in between. Just let it flow right into the next exhalation. Okay? All right, so let's try that again. And inhale. Exhale, whatever the count is that you're doing. Now keep your eyes on the horizon. Don't let your eyes drop. You know, your horizon's not that tall. It's right in front of you. Right in front of you. You want to imagine someone standing in front of you and you're looking at their eyes. Okay, so they're at eye level with you. And keep breathing. And as you're breathing now, I want you to be very aware of your facial mask, of your face, the muscles in your face. Okay? I want you to notice if your eyes feel like they might be a little wide or a little bulgy. You know, it's okay to blink, by the way. When you're looking out into your horizon, you don't have to stare it down, okay? So we're not trying to build tension in the eyes. In fact, I'd like you to, not lazily, but what we call a soft gaze out into the horizon. It's a soft gaze into the horizon, okay? All right, so if you're looking out at your horizon, I want you to notice the rest of your face, okay? Notice if your mouth is closed. And I want you, instead of having a closed mouth, to kind of feel like the lips are soft, slightly parted, especially on the exhalation, and feel like it's horizontal across the face. Feel like your mouth is horizontal across the face, as though you had a little facelift here, a little Botox. Maybe not that. But there's just this feeling of this widening of the face. Now, don't make it too much, or you're all like, whoa, too much plastic surgery there, Joan Rivers. No. Just kind of a little bit of a feeling of a wideness and an openness, okay? So make sure your eyes don't get involved. Soft look out into the horizon. And face feels soft, mouth, lips are soft, but there's a horizontal feeling. So what we're wanting to avoid is any kind of frowning going on here, okay, or really tight stuff, all right? Okay, relax for a moment. Just relax for a moment. All right, we're going to do this again. Okay, you ready? Look at your horizon. Make sure your feet shoulder width apart. Okay, you can certainly put your hand there if you're still needing to find out if you're breathing there. If you think you've got it, just put your hands to your sides. All right, and now go ahead and start that circular breath. We want to do 3 sets of this breathing, okay, to start with what we call a neutral breath, which is the beginning of the step out. So do 3 sets of that circular breath. So you inhale, and then you exhale through your mouth. Keep the eyes soft. Eyes are up at the horizon. The rest of the face is also relaxed. The lips slightly parted. No excess tension in the jaw. There's a sense of a horizontal feeling in the lips. Spine feels long and floating. The head feels like it's floating on top of the spine, so don't carry any extra tension. Okay? Now relax for a moment. We're going to do this again, but now I'm going to take you to the next step. So what we're doing there is what we call the neutral breath. Okay? And you can breathe in that neutral breath as long as you need, as long as it takes for you to feel centered. All right, when you feel like you're in touch with yourself and not letting other things bombard you. It's a great exercise, by the way, if you've ever been nervous and you have anxieties about things. It's a great thing to just go into a neutral breath. Just stand there and breathe. And after a while, you won't even have to count. After a while, you can automatically know the length that takes. All right? Now we're going to add the step out component. Okay, so back into our position for the neutral breath. Back into looking out at a horizon, nice long spine, knees are soft, pelvis is soft, okay? In fact, if you want to rock a little bit, this is also a good little test to see how balanced you feel, okay? And you know, you rock and go, oh, that's too far, right? Or that's too far forward. And then you find that middle ground, and it just feels like you're kind of floating there. You feel that? Feels a little bit different, okay? And you're looking out into the horizon, lips are slightly parted, you exhale through the mouth, inhale through the nose. You're going to do 3 good sets of that. And then once you get to the 3rd set, and let's just for now, as we're learning to pretend we're at the 3rd set, you're going to bring your hands together and gently gently interlock your fingers together. In other words, don't clamp them. Okay, it's just very gentle. Okay? And you're going to pretend that you have a beach ball in front of you. So that gives you the sense of how much space you want in your arms. Okay? And when you inhale this next time, so we can just sort of physically practice this for a moment so you know what the move is. So you're going to inhale, bring your arms all the way up. On that inhale, okay, however long it takes you to inhale, you're going to bend at the elbows, okay, so that if I stand here to the side, you'll notice that nothing happens to my posture. You notice that? Okay, because some people think you do this, and you don't, okay? Nothing happens to the posture. You bring your hands behind you, and then you're going to give a little squeeze, just ever so slight little squeeze. You're going to press your palms together in that exchange moment, in that transition moment, and then as you release, you're going to exhale. And again, the same count of the exhale as the inhale, okay? And then you're going to repeat that pattern 3 times. All right? Let's try that, and I'm going to add the next step, okay? So go into neutral breath. Begin to step out. Hands, and then inhale. Bend the elbows, hands behind you, tight squeeze, and exhale, same count. Repeat again. One more cycle. Sustain this for a moment. As you continue to do the neutral breath, you're going to bring your hands up, and you're going to, as we say, wipe the cobwebs away from your head. Just wipe the cobwebs, or left leg, or anti-static, whatever you choose. You're just going to come in contact with your face, awaken your face, okay? And then from here, you're going to break your access. However you do this is up to you, but basically, maybe a little bit more pleasant than I just did, but you're going to break your access, so you're no longer standing like this. So whatever it is it needs to do, and a sound, and sometimes people like to have a shake. All right, you ready to do the whole series now?
Yeah.
Once you learn it, it goes kind of quick. I mean, I know I'm kind of like drawing this out, but I want to make sure that you're understanding each of the steps. Okay? So let's do 3 circular breaths. Okay, and after we do that, then by the 4th one, right, we're going to do 3 sets of that. Okay? Horizon, 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 horizon. Circular, circular, circular. No excess tension. Okay? Keep that in mind. All right? And then when we release and come back down, then we're going to bring our hands up, wipe the cobwebs from our face. Okay? And then we're going to break our access. And if you need an extra, to you. All right, so here we are. Starting with our neutral breath. Check your feet if you need to, or you can just feel it out. Okay, arms to the sides, knees are bent. Horizon, and begin your circular inhalation 3 times. It's really important that you break your access, and it's really important that you make it sound. Okay? Because there's a big difference between that, because then you don't really let go. Okay? So let's all break our access. Let's all practice that. I want to hear sound, and I want to see a big movement. Okay? Ready? 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 Go! And more vocals. Big. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? If we don't release the vocals, we don't release other things. You know, because a lot of times, if we're carrying something emotional, we're usually pretty quiet, and we don't express ourselves. So by releasing it, it's kind of like, all right, it's out there. Let the rest of the world deal with it. Okay, ready? Let's try that again. Nice, big. I sometimes call it the grotesque. I like that, you know, because I feel like a gargoyle or something. And then let the kind of, me personally, I like the sound that comes from a diaphragm. You know, like somebody, as opposed to, because we don't want that. We don't want to go, you know, and then we go, oh, my throat hurts. Okay, so try to do it also from the diaphragm. So ready, 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 go!